In 2010, the name Vitaly Ostrovsky echoed across the post-Soviet space. A Belarusian man pulled off a near-impossible feat. He escaped from Moscow's notorious Butyrka Prison. He scaled a perfectly vertical 4.5-meter brick wall, topped with razor wire, an act many called physically impossible. Here's the full story of his unbelievable escape. Vitaly Ostrovsky was born in 1984 in Minsk, Belarus. From a young age, he was passionate about hiking and climbing. After completing his mandatory military service, he became involved with a gang of burglars who targeted suburban homes and summer cottages. They stole anything of value: electronics, agricultural tools, even axes and drills. Ostrovsky alone was responsible for nearly 15 burglaries in the settlement of Kolodishchi near Minsk. The stolen goods totaled over 85.5 million Belarusian rubles, equivalent to more than $25,000 at the time. He was eventually caught red-handed during a robbery. However, Ostrovsky managed to escape the police and boarded a train to Moscow, hoping to hide out. But his escape didn't last long. On December 7, 2009, he was arrested at Belarusian railway station in Moscow. When stopped by police, he showed his real passport and acted surprised, saying he didn't know why he was wanted. Following his arrest, extradition negotiations with Belarus began. On February 5, 2010, he was taken to the Tverskoy District Court in Moscow to extend his detention. It was here that Ostrovsky made his first escape attempt. Inside the police van, he pushed aside the guards, kicked open the door, and ran toward the nearest metro station. Because civilians were nearby, the officers didn't open fire and managed to recapture him shortly after. On February 12th, a new criminal case was opened against him for the attempted escape. He was transferred to Moscow's pretrial detention center number 2, better known as Butyrka, one of the most secure detention facilities in all of Russia. On March 4th, Ostrovsky attempted suicide. As a result, he was moved to the prison hospital inside Butyrka. According to prison officials, seasoned criminals often feign mental health issues to be transferred to the hospital, where the regime is more lenient and meals are better. He was placed in a cell inside a yellow 4-story building on the prison's grounds, formerly a women's block and now a psychiatric hospital. Inmates and guards nicknamed it the Cat House. Doctors diagnosed him with a depressive reaction, a psychological condition characterized by unexplained anxiety, fear, low mood, and psychomotor retardation following traumatic events. Despite his diagnosis, Ostrovsky stayed quiet and reserved. Rumors said his biggest fear was being extradited to Belarus, where prison conditions were harsher. He kept himself physically fit, doing push-ups and exercising every day inside his cell. That day, Ostrovsky and his cellmate were to be taken to the prison showers. Their cell was on the 3rd floor, and the sanitation unit was located on the 2nd. Around 4:30 p.m., a guard came to escort them. The guard was unarmed and didn't put them in handcuffs. Near the showers, Ostrovsky, dressed in sweatpants and a t-shirt, suddenly pushed the guard and began to run. The guard hesitated. If he chased Ostrovsky, he'd have to leave the second prisoner unattended. This hesitation proved crucial. A normally locked automatic door was strangely ajar. He passed through it and ended up in the prison courtyard. Ostrovsky now faced a 4.5-meter-high brick wall, topped with 1 meter of razor wire. What he did next stunned everyone. Without hesitation, he sprinted at the wall, jumped, and began climbing vertically. Guards later said it defied the laws of physics. He reached the top, cleared the razor wire, and began his descent. Coincidentally, the guard in the watchtower had looked away for a moment. Though the alarm was triggered, by the time guards and dogs were dispatched, Ostrovsky had already slid down an electrical cable hanging along the wall and disappeared. Where Ostrovsky went immediately after his escape remains a mystery. Authorities believe he fled Russia. In 2012, he was finally arrested in Finland and extradited back to Russia. This time, he was sent to a high-security psychiatric hospital in Smolensk, a facility known for treating the most dangerous and mentally unstable criminals in Russia. Escape from this place was considered impossible. Doctors reportedly subdued his escape tendencies with medication. Eventually, he was returned to Butyrka, but this time to a cell under constant surveillance, with multiple layers of automated doors. He received no mail, had no visitors, and no known contacts. His desire to escape seemed gone, though he continued his fitness routine inside. In 2012, discussions about his extradition to Belarus resurfaced. But after that, Ostrovsky's trail went cold. No further crimes, no interviews, no sightings. His name vanished from public records.